Started. And we'll start by saying hello to the people who are attending today. Give me a quick high five or hand up if you can hear us, just to make sure. Yes, looks like yeah, excellent. Okay, so welcome everyone to the Learnabout session for Canva Part 2. I am Olivia Morris. I'm the host of the Learnabout sessions, and if you are not local to Minnesota, I work for Metronet, which is a multi-county, multi-type library system, one of 7 across the state. We serve the Twin Cities metro area by providing services, support, training, networking opportunities for libraries of all types. And one of our great opportunities is working with our partners at Minitex to provide this particular series, the Canva sessions, as one of our Learnabouts. So today we have Ann Kaste of Minitex, who I assume will give you a brief rundown of Minitex as she jumps in and tells you all about Canva today. And if you have questions, feel free to go ahead and put those in the Q&A or in the chat. We will get those as we are going throughout. And I think that's it. You can take it away, Ann.
Thanks, Olivia. Yes, I'm Ann Kaste from Minitex. I am an outreach and instruction librarian for Minitex, which is a service of the Office of Higher Education in Minnesota and the University of Minnesota Libraries. And we do a lot of the things like a state library does in other states. We do interlibrary loan, and we facilitate our state e-library database collection called eLibrary Minnesota, eBooks Minnesota. We coordinate that too, and we do a few other things as well. So it's really a fun thing to be at Minitex. I'm 2.5 years into my time at Minitex, and I love it. And I'm a former media specialist before this, so it's fun to try to reach out to all of our K-12 libraries and media specialists and library interested folks and research minded folks out in the state of Minnesota and beyond. So thanks for having me today. This is, as Olivia mentioned, part 2 of our Canva series. And I will just do a very kind of brief intro of what we discussed in part 1, just to start out. But for the most part, we're going to focus on the more advanced features of Canva. As Olivia said, definitely do feel like putting questions in the chat or Q&A right away as we go, because with this type of thing, these little tech things, you're probably going to want to ask your question on the spot before we totally move beyond it. So it's not a save your questions till the end kind of a situation, and we're very casual, so totally fine. All right, I'm gonna find the right screen to share here. Hopefully this is it. There we go. All right. So this is what we want to see. The intro to Canva part 1. Does that look right? Okay. Hopefully.
Yes, it does.
Good deal. All right. So yeah, as I say in the subtitle, we are beyond the freebies. The first part 1 that we did, we talked about what the free things in Canva. If you can just go to Canva and create a free account and not have to have any payment plan or anything like that, and not be on the pro, we talked about all the things that were available in that, going through that route. Today, we really are beyond the freemium. We're going to go into more of the premium fun features, more advanced features that you'll find. But I do want to mention, if you go to canva.com and look at plans and pricing, if you are in education, K-12 education, or if you're with a nonprofit, Canva Pro is free. So you just have to register and apply or whatever. But so make sure that if your school district hasn't already gotten the free version for you, or if you're with a nonprofit, just make sure you're going through that to get the free pro version. Otherwise, it's $110 a year. I've been paying for a personal subscription, and I probably need to figure out how to get off of that. And since I work for a nonprofit, maybe we can qualify. I haven't even checked in yet. So definitely look into that though. Okay, today we will be reviewing Canva tools, and I will review the tools by making stuff. So we're going to make a certificate, we're going to make a newsletter, a presentation, and a couple of video GIF type things. in the process of doing this, we will be testing out Canva's AI generated content and some of their new AI features. Well, I'm not in love with them, but I just thought it, part two, we should definitely highlight what they're trying to develop in the area of AI. And we'll play with Canva apps and design tools so that you can create sustainable products and projects and products. And I'll kind of explain what I mean by sustainable as we go along. But the Canva apps are something that are kind of new to me, and I'm really liking them a lot. So I think that'll be a fun thing to explore. Okay, first thing we're going to do is create some certificates of achievement. It's pretty easy entree to lots of the fun things you can do in Canva. So let's go back to the home for Canva for now. And just a refresher on the interface, if you haven't seen, if you log in, this is what you'll see. It's kind of like you can start from anywhere. What will you design today is kind of their interface. If you don't see exactly what you want right here, you can just search it. And you can see I've searched for certificate in the past. So let's just search for certificate, and it will bring up a bunch of templates that we could use. I'll just choose this one. And I will click customize this template. So now I've got a very pretty looking template to use and just start from. I can, of course, print this out if I want, but what I want to do today is pretend that this is going to be a digital certificate that I'm going to send out to a classroom of students, let's just say. So let's say, for one thing, I want to add some of my own panache to this certificate. So I'm going to look for an owl because I love owls. So I went to Elements and I looked for owls. You'll see I see graphics and photos and videos and audio of owls. So all of these things could be added to my digital certificate that I'm creating. I'll just go ahead and add this little guy. And I'll shrink him down a little bit. And there he is. Great. Now, I want to point out a couple of things about this element. If you like this little owl guy and you kind of want to know more, see more of maybe a similar type of graphic, you can click these three dots here, and then you can view more by CanChem from CanChem. That is the artist who created this content. And you can also see more like this. So let's view more by CanChem for starters. And here are this artist has created all of these pieces of digital art. So you can see it's a little bit in the same vein as my owl. Super cute caterpillar reading on a leaf. Then another version of the caterpillar, a little leek right here, some kids. So then also I love, like, let's say my owl is my theme for the year. There's different kinds of owls in here too. So maybe I want the owl reading a book. Oh, here's some magic recommendations. Now I have owl with a pointer. I have owl cringing. I have there are more of that same owl if I keep poking around, which is fun. I kind of found all the poses for this owl guy at one point because he's cute. I like that. Also, though, you can go, if you go see more like this, you can just see more in that similar vein. Again, these are not necessarily by CanChem, they are just similar to the graphic that you're looking at. So let's say I liked this one a little better. Let's see more like this. Then you can see they're more white, sketchy type of results. So that's just a way to kind of keep, I get obsessed and get down the rabbit hole with trying to get that perfect graphic and get it to look the way I want. And that I love looking at the similar elements by artist or items similar to this within elements. So that's kind of fun. I wanted to also show you how you could make this owl animated. So he could come in, he can do all these things, which is probably something you're familiar with if you've ever done Google Slides or anything like that. You can have a bunch of animations on him. However, you can also create an animation, and I really like that. you can select an image that you throw in, and then you can drag it around to create the animation yourself. So if I want to grab onto him, then I can go like this, and that will be his path. And I can make him faster or slower. And I can make him wiggle. Okay, and that now I'm done. So now that is part of my certificate of achievement. When I send it out and share it, it will be sent as a little video, a little GIF, so that it will include that motion in the certificate, which is kind
Hey,
of fun.
Anne,
Yeah.
we got a question.
Mhm.
In the Q&A, someone said that they also love that adorable owl. And Gwen wants to know, how is copyright determined or okayed for this? Are these images from the Creative Commons?
Yeah. So Canva has a policy on its site. I had it in part one. About using all of their images, and basically they say attribution is always appreciated and not required. So if you're getting it from the Canva platform, you don't have to put attribution, but I would recommend, and since we're probably all librarians in this room, going to the about the artist and just giving that person credit. But yes, it's all licensed by Creative Commons, and if you don't give the attribution, since you got it from Canva, they say that you will be just fine as far as any liability, but just of course respectfully to the artists, it's nice to give credit. So that's another great use of those three dots, is to see who the artist is, and then you can click information too, and this gives a little bit of licensing information. Learn more about the license. So yeah, thanks for asking that question. I should have pointed that out, but you can always go from any element that you want into that policy. So, oh, and here comes my cat. Goodbye, cat. Okay. All right. So now I wanted to show you a way you can kind of scale this up and make this project a little bit sustainable. And this is our first entrance into an app called Bulk Create. So if you go down here on the left-hand side, Bulk Create. Now I can enter data manually, or I can upload a CSV. Let's say I want to make certificates for all the students in my class. So I'm going to make one for Olivia Morris, and I'm just going to make up your email address. And then I'll make one for Taylor Swift. She's in my class. And you get the point. Okay, so I'm just adding them this way, but you can also upload a CSV file in a simple format that you'd like. You can also add an image. So if you have an avatar for each of your students, or some kind of badge that you'd like, or something like that, you could add that as well to your data file. And then it says right click an element in your page to connect it to your data below. So I'm going to right click here, and then I'm going to connect data. And then I can either connect this to name or email, and I obviously would want name since it's a big certificate. And then down here, the purple button, continue, and I can generate 4 pages. So now I have 4 certificates, all in the spirit with, let's see, I just have to go down. There we go. My little Zoom window was blocking. There's Jane Jones, there's Olivia Morris's certificate, and Taylor Swift's. So it's kind of fun. So that Bulk Create, this is a very simple introduction to Bulk Create, but you can do this with newsletters or certificates or anything you want. If you want to personalize it, it's pretty simple to either upload a CSV file or just make that your file yourself. And then you can have a whole bunch of nice images to hand out and send out. All right. Any questions on that stuff before we move on? All right. All right, now I'm going to move on to creating a newsletter to show some other fun stuff. So I'm going to just look for a newsletter template. And let's see what we have here. There's some nice looking ones. Let's say I want a nice template that I'm going to send home to parents about my classroom news. So I'll just do this one. And I will customize this template. Okay, so let's say, okay, this is kind of what I want, but not quite. I can do a lot of things here. I can look for other templates. I can update the style. So let's say I just at least want it to have the color palette that I like. So then I can click on my color palette. Well, that's shockingly pink and I don't like it. But if I click again, there it goes. It will give me an alternate version of my color palette. So it can start to look a little bit more like me. So let's say I like this color version and color palette for my newsletter. Great. So now I am going to also upload or change this to be a Minitex newsletter since I work at Minitex. And I just need to find my Minitex logo. There we go. So I'll just take this down here and I'm going to move this up here. So now I've got my Minitex newsletter. Lovely. Because if you may remember from part 1, you can upload your brand and your brand kit and your brand colors. So that is all in this brand area. And you can upload files here. This is taking some of random logos from Minitex, and you can add your color palette here. You can add the fonts that you generally like to use here. Also, all that good stuff is in your brand area. So, of course, that's a pro feature, but we're pros now, so that's good. Okay, so I'm still back in styles under design. Let's also say I really don't love this font that they gave me in this template, so I'm going to switch it. I want it to look more like that. Okay, just fine. Wonderful. Okay. So it's just a nice thing to remember that you can always switch up your color palettes in all of your designs. If you go into styles, you can change. So, I mean, I went, of course, to my brand toolkit that I have for Minitex, but if I wanted something more like autumnal or retro, I can always do that as well. So, and then you can keep switching it up to get to the right color combos you like with that little refresh button. I'm just clicking that over and over to get different options. Okay, so now you can add a lot of fun things to your newsletter. You can add infographics, such as, let's see if we go to down on the left-hand side here, charts. And you can do, you can enter your data yourself. Let's do an interactive chart. Let's say I want to tell the parents about how many books we have read in our classroom together this year. So I'm going to change my little icon here to be a book, which is in here somewhere. There it is. And then I'm going to like say in the whole school year, we want to read 20 books together. And so far we've read 6 of those. And I can change the spacing on this a little bit to make it a little bigger. So then I can put text with this and just have a little visual to say, hey, parents, we are at 6 books out of our 20 we want to read. So that's just a fun visual way to use those infographic features. You can do all sorts of charts that way if you want to illustrate any data simply and easily. I mean, this is not for super complex data by any stretch, but you certainly can represent simple data in a very nice and pleasant visual way without any fuss at all by just doing total items, fill items, and spacing. And you can do that with a lot, like I said, like a lot of different aspects and charts. The circle chart's really fun too. Like you could do different, if you have some simple data that fits into this kind of category, you can really play with those infographic features, which is kind of fun. Okay, you could also say, hey, parents, I want you to know about thing we've been doing in the class. I want the parents to see a presentation that I did in the class. So I can go to some videos that I have. No, I can go to some uploads that I have. and look at some videos that I have made. And here is a video of me. You can see me in the little circle in the corner, doing a presentation that I recorded. So let's say I want to say, hey parents, this is some information that I shared with students about the art project for the week. And you can share the slide deck and you talking through it right in there. So a little video, and any video you can import any video you want from YouTube or anywhere else. You can also do audio. So that's kind of fun. You can just put those interactive elements in. And also you'll notice, I will show you in a moment how to create one of these presentations with you speaking in a little circle in the corner too, through Canva, which is nice to have it all in one place. Okay, you can also, I think if you go to apps, you can create QR codes for things very easily. So if if you plan to print this out, and this isn't going to be a digital document, sometimes you want to put QR codes on printed things so that people can get to other websites. So if you wanted to put a QR code and print this out for the wall, so if you were putting something on the wall or making a poster or something, you can always just click the QR code in the apps area and enter the URL that you'd like the code for and generate a QR code that way. So that's a nice, easy way to generate a QR code anytime you need. Also, translate. So if you have several languages that you'd like your letter to go out in, you can automatically translate your pages to a different language and click translate. I think you get like 500 translates per month, but you can see that's kind of nice that text will be translated then into any language that you like. So that's pretty easy to duplicate the whole newsletter and change the languages for people so that they can read it that way. Love that. Okay, and then there's one more thing I wanted to show you with the AI features. There are a few different AI apps. Let me actually back up for a minute. Some of these things that I'm pulling out are in this apps area. So when you look at this apps area, you'll see all these different, they kind of highlight different ones at different times. They're all just different little fun things you can do. I tried this one out today. This is quite funny. So this is a video avatar that represents our video. So I have this one installed. So here you can pick an avatar, and then you can, let's say I want her to be my avatar, and I can choose the voice that I want to use for her, and then I can preview her speech.
This audio is generated with Neuro AI technology.
Okay, then I can create my video, and it will create a script, whatever I wanted to type in that box, it will create a script, and it will make that person speak in that with that text. So I can't really picture a reason you would want a fake AI avatar to talk for you. But if you did want a neutral kind of robotic kind of person to do the talking for you, you can certainly do it in a very realistic looking kind of way. It's trying to generate that avatar, and it might be a little much. But here we go. There she is. It'll take a minute for her audio to match up and to generate, but then she'll be in my newsletter. So I could have this AI generated avatar in my newsletter, and she would be speaking. So how nice, right? Here she is.
Hi, my name is Jessie and I'm your virtual presenter.
Great. Thank you, Jessie. So maybe if I didn't want to do this presentation today, I could have just typed it all in and had Jessie do it. But anyway, that's just one of the types of AI features that are starting to evolve. I think this is pretty nascent stages for AI. I was playing around with a different one that I wanted to show you. This one, this is a different app, a different AI app called, where is it? DID AI. This one, you only get 10 of them per month for free with the Pro, I've noticed. I think, but you can upload your own photo. So I did this just to see what would happen. And I did it with my daughter's senior picture. So it did. And then I typed in some text. Here she is. Let me put her in.
Welcome, friend. My name is Nora.
So that's my daughter in one of her senior pictures. And then I just uploaded the photo, and then it kind of did something weird with her jaw and put in whatever text that I typed in. So just so you know, that type of stuff is starting to evolve. Here's another one that I did.
My name is Jesse. I'm your virtual presenter.
He has a British accent, so you can change it that way too. Again, don't know how useful those things are, but it's kind of fun just to know that those things are starting to be integrated into Canva if you should ever need them. Again, you can do bulk create with any of this content. If you wanted to send a personalized message or personalized newsletter, you could put different content into different areas of your newsletter. You could even type the content for your newsletter in your spreadsheet here, and then just generate it that way so that you could have personalized messaging in your newsletter. So it's just kind of interesting to think about. You would just have to, like, here's the update for the art class, and then just have that assigned to a certain area within your newsletter, like this area right here, and then it would put it in. And when you bulk create, and then you could print those out too, or email them out as you wish. So just kind of an interesting idea, and some more advanced things to do with Canva. Okay. I think those were all the newsletter type things. Was there anything? Repeat the name of the one. Oh, that you can upload. Yes, that one is, it's called, I'll actually do it here. DID AI presenters. So that one is within apps. I think it's on my deck on the left here because I've used it. I think once you use it and add it to your subscription, it becomes a part of your left-hand toolbar. And if you don't see these in your own Canva, just go to apps and you can hunt for a bunch of apps that way. So yeah, this is the DID presenter. You can upload audio that you'd like them to say as well. So if I'd like this presenter to speak in my voice, I could upload audio and have her do that. So let's see. I'm trying to remember how I uploaded my own daughter's picture, but I won't belabor that. But generate presenter preview speech. Okay, so here's this. Welcome, friend. Here at Canva. And then I can have her say that in Australian English, Natasha's voice. Then she generates. Okay, it looks like it kind of dropped the connection that I had made at one point, because that's where I made it. So that's interesting. It didn't hang on to that link that I made my daughter's video with, but I must have to log in, and that's why it wasn't there and why it didn't link to my option. But I found that with Canva, a lot of times I practice what I'm going to prepare and say in a class like this, and then it changes on me all the time. But it's pretty, I forgive it because it's very dynamic content that we're working with too. So anyway, that's a fun one to mess around with. Let's go back. Oh yeah.
Couple of questions. One, can you repeat the name of the one that you did with your daughter's picture?
Yep, that's this one, DID AI.
And also, can you make the AI talk with the picture of the owl?
That I don't know. I would imagine you could. I wonder if you uploaded your own, I'd have to log into this, but then you could upload a picture of an owl and I bet you could make it talk. Yeah. For sure. So that'd be fun to play with. I'll have to play with that some more, but just like I'm not logged in right now, so that's why it's not letting me upload pictures, but I just uploaded that picture of my daughter and told it what to say and it did it. So I'm sure it would do the same with a picture, like a graphic, at least I would guess. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to go back to apps just for a second too. Down here are all sorts of apps that I haven't played with all of them. We did look at bulk create and charts, logos. That's the stuff I think that you can generate and create for your own brand, which even if it's just even your own classroom or your own, you don't have to be, you know, a company or on Etsy to have your own kind of look and feel to things. So if you like to have a unified look and feel, logos is something you can go create, and it'll help you. There are assistants in logos to help you kind of create a look and feel that you like, and a color palette that you like, fonts and text that you like. So I of course use Minitext for the most part, but apps. Okay, so it also links, you can link stuff from your Google Drive. You can link your YouTube channel, your Bitmoji account. You can link all these things to Canva. It just keeps going. It's pretty fun. I tried Google Maps. That didn't seem to work very well. That just integrates Google Maps into your newsletter. So I did that. It created a spot. I mean, like here's the Coliseum. It's pretty easy. And that makes an interactive Google map into your, so it just kind of takes you to Google Maps. But again, these things are just fun to see what they do. And if there's ever a use for you to have them. I mean, could be you make a digital worksheet for your students and you want them to have access to an interactive Google map right from it. So you just throw it in there. It's kind of cool. So that's apps. Let's go back home and start talking about presentations. Okay. So they do a lot now with presentations and videos. That's probably the biggest new stuff that I've seen. So record now and present later with talking presentations. So that's, you can take any of your presentations, and when you go to click present, maybe let's just do that with my presentation. Where did it go? It's here. Okay. So here's my presentation that I did already make. And let's say I want to present it. Then I can either go present and just present like you would a Google slide deck, or you can present and record. And then you can see it records yourself in this little circle. And you can go next. Now I've already done this, so that's why it's propping up with my little face there talking, but I'll just delete that. And then I'll just do it again. Present and record next. Okay, so then it says go to the recording studio. Okay, so I can start recording. I don't know if this will work very well with since I'm already in a Zoom, and then I didn't turn on my camera. So it is recording my voice over this presentation, and I can do this and this. I can pause it. And then I can be done. And then I have just a quick version of me going through my presentation. So then you can share that with people. So it's kind of handy to have. It's tricky because then you have to create your presentation in Canva, which that's not a real natural place for us to create presentations. But if you have something you want to be particularly pretty, that's what I would use it for. Something that maybe is just kind of a orientation or something like that. You have a really pretty way of sharing that content through their presentation tool. Now you have another way of doing it as well, and that is if you go to, let's see, videos. Okay, so let's say I want to make a video. This is where I can do something similar to, let me just remember how to do it. Yeah, record myself. So this is similar to something like Screencast-O-Matic or Screencastify, where you can record yourself and record your screen as well. So you can see here, I just clicked, I'll go back to what I did here. I went to videos, and then under videos, there's a button that says record yourself. So then record yourself. Now I can turn my camera on. And do my integrated camera there. And then I can record my camera and my screen. So I could record myself doing a presentation on my screen. Like say I wanted to just show you a Google slide deck and not a Canva slide deck. I could record my screen, but I'd still have this little circle me in the recording, which I hear that people like better than just watching the video without the little person in the corner. I don't know. I know we're all probably shy to have our faces in a circle in the corner, but it's kind of nice. And so then you can walk through anything you want with your camera and screen, or just your camera or just your screen. So I could just do screen too, and then make a recording of myself once I pick which window I'm going to share. So that's kind of nice that that's now built into Canva, and you don't need to use other apps. I personally use Screencastify a lot, but it's limited. I use the free version of Screencastify to make screen videos and GIFs, and I find that it's really I get full real fast. You can only have 10 videos with that for free, and I fill it up pretty quickly. So this is nice to know that Canva now has that feature as well. And so if you have free pro Canva, then you have this free nice feature. So that's a nice way to handle your recorded presentations as well. Any presentation that you make can be shared. Let's go back to my presentation. Oh, I keep losing that guy. I'll go back here to home. It's freezing up on me a little, maybe. There we go. Okay, so if I go back to my presentation here, just a refresher, you can share this out in many different ways. You can record yourself going through it. You can just play it like this. So you can share this link so people can play through it in any of the various ways that you may be sharing it, like with the video, or if you just want to go through the slides, or anything you want. So that's kind of nice too. Just click the share button, and you have to change that to anyone with the link, very similar to Google, and then you can share it that way. In so many different ways. You can embed it, you can copy it, share the watch link, blah, 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 create a QR code for it. You can do so many things. Makes your head spin sometimes. Okay, now I did want to mention one other AI thing that Canva is doing. So if I want to do a presentation and I'm not sure exactly where I want to start, I can use Magic Design by Canva and explain the difference. Let's do explain ethos, pathos, and logos for middle schoolers. So this is kind of like a ChatGPT type of thing. It's generating some content for me with different looks and feel. I'm kind of finding that they're pretty hideous, the things they generate. I'm not in love with them, but the cool thing about it is I have found a few times that it does get your thinking started. So let's create my presentation. Here's my presentation. And it kind of gives, sometimes it can give you a really good outline for how to structure your thinking for your presentation. So even though this is kind of ugly and basic, what is persuasion? Ethos is this, pathos is this, logos is this. So it kind of examples, it kind of gives you some inspiration for how to maybe structure your presentation. So it's, I mean, since it's free and easy, sometimes I think it is worth a try to see what it gives you. You can always update the style to your color palette. So if you wanted that, you could always start adding logos to it so it looks more like you and what you want. Say I wanted to have that font. Apply to all pages. is that button down there so that it has your whole look and feel across the board. I mean, if you needed a presentation really quickly, you could get it done pretty fast if you needed to. It wouldn't be the best, obviously, but it would help structure your thinking, I think, give you an outline. Okay. The last thing I just wanted to talk about today was GIFs. I have been finding, and I think I do overkill on GIFs, but I really find that they are so nice when you're demoing how to do something and people don't want to have to press play on a video. I personally always get scared if I have to press play on something that it's going to have sound, and I don't want to have sound, and I just want to know very quickly how to do something without the big intro, and I don't want to have anybody talking. So I have been finding that GIFs are really pretty great for that. There's a lot of different ways to generate GIFs, but one thing I like to use Canva for with GIFs is kind of graphical GIFs. So like this one, for example, is just a simple, I started out with a simple certificate, and it's just for like an intro to a video that I'm going to use. So I made an umbrella, but I made all of these, I put all of so I made a Minitex umbrella. These are all the products and services that Minitex has for K-12. So I threw all those logos in there because I'm making a little video about this for a different purpose. And I just wanted to have a way to kind of have these things rain out of a Minitex umbrella. That was my little goal. So when I press play here, I have all of my little logos raining out of my umbrella, which really doesn't, the analogy really doesn't stand up if you analyze it at all. But that's just a way of showing you how those animations can come together to make something fun and maybe be a piece of something. Now you can share this by clicking download, and then you can share it as an MP4 video, but I don't want to. I want it to be a GIF. So short clip, no sound. So then you can download anything that's less than, I don't know, 20 seconds, I think. You can download as a GIF, and then nobody has to press play on that. So when they like just encounter that image, it's going to be doing this on a loop. So you can download any of your animations or certificates or anything like that that is showing something that you want to show, or maybe a screen recording that you made of how to do something. You may, like, say you made a screen recording in Canva of something, like, and you saved it in your videos, which actually is weirdly in your uploads. But so let's say I made a recording of how to do something like here. I'll do a new one. So this is a recording of how to do something in Britannica that I made. So it's just how to get into Britannica and how to like deal with the homepage of Britannica. So let's say I just want to make that, and then I want to put some instructions on top of this or use this in a video. I can share this as a GIF instead of an MP4, and then people can just see it without having to press play. I hope that makes some sense. I find that I've been using Canva a little bit to make those kind of like fun little interactive graphics that are moving around a little bit without having to make MP4s out of them. So just a fun way to use all the things and have them come together. Okay, so I think that was everything that I had to cover specifically. Now I know that was a lot, and I went through and I started kind of just like assuming you had Canva knowledge to start. So if you have any other questions, I'm happy to, and if we went too fast or you want to go back to some basics, please feel free to ask now too.
I'm not seeing any questions pop up in the chat or the Q&A.
Great.
Oh, one just popped up.
Thank you, Gwen. Yeah. Yeah, I've just been finding I made a bunch of tutorials for Minitex. And they're interactive tutorials with LibWizard, and I just went GIF crazy with them so that because it's like I started out making YouTube videos for each of the things I wanted to explain, and then I just got the comment like nobody's gonna watch these YouTube videos, just stop. So, which I agree with. So, but GIFs are like so accessible. You don't have to yeah, you don't have to press play. You can just see what's up with a little text on the side. So I found that to be real helpful when I made my LibWizard standalone tutorials. If any of you have SpringShare products, that's helpful. So. Olivia, do you guys use Canva at MetroNet much?
We don't really. Most of the stuff we create, we simply do it. We use Constant Contact for our marketing emails, and we just use that for our creation. So we haven't had a lot of cause to do it. I love it, and I love whenever I see things, I love the way it looks, and I always feel like it's something I could definitely use more of because the design elements, like watching you put that cute owl, and I'm thinking, where can I use that? What can I create with that? Just
Yeah.
so I can definitely see the appeal, but it's just not something I've had a lot of cause to use.
Yeah, I know this is kind of, I'm trying to think like of some other, like when I made the LibWizard, none of it's like necessary either. I get a little addicted to just having fun with it, but like this right here, I have this running these little I just want little icons for things, and you know you can download these with a transparent background. So I made this little graphic because I wanted to illustrate how eLibrary Minnesota is accessible to all people all through Minnesota. So it was just a fun graphic to make that I just stuck on a slide about Minitex, I think, or something, you know, things like that. I get kind of addicted to, so I just have this ongoing 300 by 300 little you know, scrolling document where I just kind of add a page. And these were little things I added to my LibWizard tutorials because I wanted the same look and feel. So let's learn that this was when I played a video. I had this graphic in. What are your thoughts? You know, so it was just a way to create the same look and feel for things, buttons for things. These are just, I just use this little ongoing 300 by 300 way to grab those free Creative Commons graphics from Canva and use them either with or without a colorful background for slideshows, or it's just a nice way for me to go find Creative Commons content that is pretty classy looking. So it's another way I really use it.
See, now that I think is a great idea now that you just shared that, because when I'm doing our marketing emails through Constant Contact, I'm always uploading images from Creative Commons. So I could do something like this and create a document where I go in and play in Canva and just create a database of images that I could use when we're doing our marketing emails.
Right. And you can even like go to their collections. They have these cool collections I discovered down at the bottom, and they're all thematically linked. So like I fell for the folksy Christmas. I thought those were going to be cute. So then it's like, if you're into this like folksy Christmas, and then you have all these, this whole brand, like little branded pack to throw together, you know, just you can kill so much time in Canva. So in their elements section, their videos, it just goes on and on. Audio. Yeah. So
okay. Any final questions? Anyone have anything they'd like that they're wondering about?
okay, well, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for attending. I hope we'll see you all again soon. And thank you so much. It was amazing as always.
You bet, anytime. Thanks, Olivia.
And